bonjour et bienvenue. Welcome to another Coffee Break French Live avec moi, Marc. Je suis très content d'être ici avec vous aujourd'hui et nous allons apprendre quelque chose ensemble aujourd'hui. We're going to be learning something together today because this is a live lesson in which we're going to be experiencing some aspects of our Coffee Break Club. Now, I believe we have many people watching. We are broadcasting on our Coffee Break French YouTube account, on our Coffee Break Languages YouTube account, and on Facebook too, at Coffee Break French. So wherever you're watching, let us know where you're watching from in the comments, and hopefully I'll be able to do some hellos, some bonjour, some bonsoir, depending on where you're watching in the world. And hopefully we'll all learn something together today. Now, let me check that our slides are working here. Hopefully, you should be able to see the slides and you should be able to see me. You should be able to hear everything. Good. So, as we say, this is transforming your French learning in 5 to 10 minutes a day. Now, if you are watching on YouTube and on our Coffee Break Languages account, then you might be thinking, oh, I'm not learning French, I'm learning another language. Well, don't worry. We have a Spanish lesson coming up after this and an Italian lesson straight after that. So you can tune in a little later on and enjoy that. We definitely have got some people watching. We've got Lunja joining us from Algeria. Bonjour, Lunja. We have Snow S saying Snow S is a new subscriber, une nouvelle abonnée. And Karen is saying bonjour. And Daphne is saying bonjour from the USA. You're all very, very welcome. I can see the comments here. If you've got any questions at any point, don't hesitate to post them in the questions and I will be able to answer your questions. Now, as I said, this is a session on the club, the Coffee Break Club. And the club is a product that we have put together to help you take your French to the next level and maintain the level that you already have. And this is crucial to help you really build your understanding and deepen your knowledge at this stage in your learning. A few more hellos. We've got Barb in Chicago. We've got John in California. We've got Lynn in Florida. We've got Josephine in the US. And we've got Snow S joining us from Canada. You're all very welcome indeed today. Merci beaucoup d'être venu. Thank you for coming. Okay, we receive questions and comments and information from our Coffee Break community all the time. Every day we receive many emails. And some of the kind of comments that we get are things like this. I don't have time to attend a traditional class and an hour-long session with an online tutor is daunting. I can understand that. I need something that will help me be consistent, something I can actually achieve on a daily basis, but I want more than Duolingo. Now, I think apps like Duolingo are great for maintaining those vocabulary building exercises and so on, but perhaps you're not really getting the same as you would get from a teacher and you're not getting that same input that you would get from a teacher. Another comment, I can probably find what I need on YouTube, but by the time I've found something useful, I've gone off the notion or I've become distracted. So getting distracted, particularly on things like YouTube, there are lots of really good videos on YouTube to help you learn French and practice your French. The problem is there's also a lot of other stuff on YouTube and it's very easy to get distracted. I enjoy listening to podcasts for native speakers, but they're too long and I lose motivation after 10 minutes. That is also a big challenge, and it also applies to watching films or TV shows for native speakers because, yes, you're trying your best to follow them, but it's hard work, and after about 10 minutes, it gets even harder work. That's the copy of the previous comment, so sorry about that. But if I watch a long lesson or listen to a long podcast, I find I forget a lot of what was covered. I need something short and effective. So all of these questions, these complaints, these challenges that our listeners and our learners are experiencing, we wanted to come up with something that would address these, something that would help listeners and learners move forward and really address all of these challenges. And that's when we came up with the Coffee Break Club, which is an on-demand video library of language lessons with over 1,000 short lessons at different levels around the A2, B1, B2 level, and basically helping you move forward with your learning one coffee break at a time, just as we've been doing for many, many years. Okay, so in this session, what are we going to be doing? We're going to be looking at some sample lessons. We'll be looking at some of the materials from the club. Those bits won't be live. This is very much live. I can see your comments. I can see that Jane is saying that she's originally from Bathgate, but you've been in the USA for 25 years and you love hearing my Scottish accent. Well, I'm delighted about that. We've got Usman joining us. Great to join the Coffee Break French. We have got, who else do we have? Lungile from South Africa, fantastic. Julia from London, Christine from France, GMK from London, Jane from Boston. My son was just in Boston 2 days ago. We've got D Vision from India. Snow S didn't pass your French exam. Don't worry, you'll pass it next time. And that's why he started to look for podcasts. Well, hopefully you've found Coffee Break French and that we will help you move forward. So great to have you all here, and I can assure you that this is very much live. There will be other bits of this session where we'll be looking at some pre-recorded video materials to help you move forward, and that's those sample lessons I'm talking about. We'll also be doing a little bit of Q&A, and we'll be giving you a demonstration of the website for the Coffee Break Club, and indeed the Coffee Break TV app, which will help you access all of this. At any point, if you've got questions about it, please do post them in the chat and I'll do my best to answer. Most importantly, we're going to be doing some learning. So we're going to be doing some learning together. We'll be looking at some of the content and doing a little bit of listening practice and a little bit of grammar practice too. And hopefully you'll be enjoying this and learning together with me. So on the Coffee Break Club, we've got this whole range of different types of videos. We've got 5-minute lessons. We've got guessing locations, mystery locations. We've got our SIP videos. These are study, investigation, practice, where we really get into the nitty-gritty of the grammar. We've got Coffee Break au Soleil, where we're looking at interesting constructions, ideally in the sunshine. We've got a coffee break with, so you can see an example there, where we've got Max talking about un coup de. Un coup de is an expression that can be used in many situations. Lots and lots of different types of videos. And in the course of this session, we'll be seeing some examples of these. Okay, I think it's about time to move to an example. And in this first example, we're going to be taking a quick look at a SIP video. Now, the SIP videos are quite long. They're about 15 minutes long normally. But we're going to jump in and out of this a little bit to give you a feel for the style of video. This is study, investigation, practice. So the first part is where we're studying the demonstrative adjectives. So these demonstrative adjectives, this, that, these and those. And they can be quite tricky in French because they don't work the same way as they work in English. And after the study part, we'll investigate it further and then we'll go on to the practice session. Now, as I say, I might jump in and out of this video a little so that we're not watching the whole thing, because 15 minutes is going to take quite a lot of this live session. And I want to share some other things with you too. So it'll give you a little idea, but I'll make sure that you've learned something in this video. So let's take a look at this SIP video about this, that, these and those are demonstrative adjectives.
Bonjour et bienvenue au club. Welcome to the club. My name is Susie, and in today's grammar video, we're going to be looking at the words for this, that, these, and those in French. So that's our demonstrative adjectives. And we're going to be using our SIP methods. So we're going to do some study, some investigation, and then some practice. You might want to grab a pen and paper if you want to take some notes. Moi, je suis prête. Alors, c'est parti. So let's begin with our study section and find out a bit more about demonstrative adjectives. So demonstrative adjectives are the words that we use to demonstrate what we're talking about. So in English, we would use this or these, or that or those. And in French, we have 4 words, and they are ce, cette, and c'est. So let's have a look at each of these words individually. Ce is the word that we're going to use for masculine singular nouns. For example, ce livre, this book or that book. It could mean either depending on the context in French. Livre is a masculine noun, so we have to use ce livre. Let's take a look at our next demonstrative adjective. Cet is used for masculine singular nouns that begin with a vowel. For example, cet animal, this animal or that animal. Animal is a masculine noun, but it begins with a vowel, so we have to use the word set. Let's have a look at our next demonstrative adjective. Set. This sounds the same as our previous one, but this is the word we need to use with feminine singular nouns. For example, cette maison, this house or that house. Maison, une maison, la maison is a feminine noun, so we need to use the word set. Okay, let's have a look at our next demonstrative adjective. C'est. C'est is the word that we're going to use for plural nouns, whether they're masculine or feminine. So we can say ces livres, these books or those books, ces animaux, these animals or those animals, and ces maisons, these houses or those houses. And you might have noticed that since animaux begins with a vowel, we can do the liaison between the ces and animaux, ces animaux. Okay, that's it for our study section. Now let's move on to our investigation section and take a look at these demonstrative adjectives in context. Our first example is J'ai lu le journal ce matin. I read the newspaper this morning. Matin is a masculine noun, so we've got to use the word ce matin, this morning. J'ai lu le journal ce matin. Okay, let's take a look at another example. Regarde cet avion. Look at that plane. Here we have another masculine noun, avion, but it begins with a vowel, so we've got to use the word cet. Cet avion, that plane. Regarde cet avion. Okay, let's move on to another example. Cette semaine, je vais au cinéma. This week, I am going to the cinema. Semaine is a feminine noun, so we've got to use the word cette. C-E-T-T-E. This week. Cette semaine, je vais au cinéma. Okay, let's have a look at another example. Ma sœur aime beaucoup ces chaussures. My sister really likes these shoes. Here, chaussures is a plural noun, so we've got to use the word ces. Ces chaussures, these shoes. Ma sœur aime beaucoup ces chaussures. Okay, so now that we've looked at some examples, let's move on to our practice section. So in our practice section, we're going to fill in the gaps with the correct demonstrative adjective. Ce, cette, or c'est. And if you would like, you can have a go at translating the sentences into English as well. You'll have 10 seconds for each one. So let's take a look at our first sentence. J'ai déjà vu film. Allez, c'est parti. Okay, let's have a look at our answer. J'ai déjà vu ce film. I have already seen this film, or I have already seen that film. Film is a masculine noun, so we've got to use the masculine word ce film. J'ai déjà vu ce film. Okay, let's try another sentence. Je pense que tu vas aimer chanson. Allez, c'est parti. Okay, did you get that one? Je pense que tu vas aimer ces chansons. I think you are going to like these songs, or I think you're going to like those songs, depending on the context. Chanson is a plural noun, so we've got to use the plural demonstrative adjective ces chansons. Je pense que tu vas aimer ces chansons. Okay, let's have a go at another sentence. Nous voulons acheter appartement. Allez, 10 secondes. Okay, let's have a look at the answer. Nous voulons acheter cet appartement. We want to buy this apartment, or we want to buy that apartment. Appartement is a masculine word, but it begins with a vowel, so we've got to use the word cet appartement. Nous voulons acheter cet appartement. Okay, let's have a look at another sentence. Robe te va très bien. Allez, 10 secondes. Okay, let's have a look at the answer. Cette robe te va très bien. This dress suits you very well, or that dress suits you very well. Robe is a feminine word, so we've got to use the feminine demonstrative adjective cette. Cette robe. Cette robe te va très bien. That's it for our practice section. Now let's do a quick review of everything we've covered in our lesson today. So the first demonstrative adjective we looked at was ce, and this is the word that we use for masculine singular nouns. For example, ce livre, this book or that book. Cette is the word that we use for masculine singular nouns beginning with a vowel. For example, cet animal, this animal or that animal. Cette, C-E-T-T-E, is the word we use for feminine singular nouns. For example, cette maison, this house or that house. And ces is the word we use for plural nouns. For example, ces livres, ces animaux, or ces maisons. In English, these would be these books or those books, these animals or those animals, and these houses or those houses. That's it for our video on demonstrative adjectives. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope that these videos help you to improve your French one sip at a time. I'm Susie, and I'll see you again soon for another video from the Coffee Break French Club. Merci beaucoup, et happy coffee breaking.
Et voilà, merci beaucoup Suzy. Alors ça, c'était un vidéo sur les adjectifs démonstratifs. Ce, c'est, cette, and cette. I hope it was useful and that you've learned something or that you've practiced something. I think that one of the really important things is that when we learn things, it's very easy to forget them, but sometimes just a little jigging your memory and kind of a reminder of a particular point, a grammar point, or seeing some different examples helps you consolidate that further and implant the information in your memory more carefully. Now, we get lots of comments from our club members. Here's one. The club makes learning fun. I feel like I'm learning with friends and I feel part of a community. We do have a community in the club too. And within the community, we post regular challenges and different discussions and so on where you can take part in them. Now, good to see some of you taking part in that particular video. So Usman was giving his answers. Well done, Usman. We also had Melissa saying that was very helpful, thank you. And Carol saying, nice to see the face behind the podcast. There you go. I hope it's not a disappointment to you. Someone said earlier today that they had imagined me as Ewan McGregor and they were surprised to see the real me. I don't quite know how to take that. Anyway, let's move on and look at some of the questions that we've had on social media and by email about the club before today. If you have any questions about the club, please do post them in the comments and I'll be able to answer them because I can see all of the comments coming in here on my iPad. So first of all, is the subscription for one language or multiple languages? This is the great thing about the club. The club subscription gives you access to all of the videos like the one we've just seen for French, German, Spanish and Italian. So 4 languages if you're learning more than one language at once, or if you've perhaps learned another language previously and want to pick it up again, then the club is fantastic for you. Of course, there's huge value in just one language too, but you get 4 languages for the price of one in a sense with the club. And how much does that subscription cost? Well, the reason we're running this particular live lesson this week is the fact that we've got a special offer on this week. There's 30% off our Coffee Break Club subscription. So it's a great time. In fact, it's the best time to sign up to join the club at the moment. So let's just take a look at the normal cost. The normal cost would be $19.99 per month, but that's down to $13.99 for your first month this week. If you sign up this week, you get that first month with 30% off. However, we also offer an annual club subscription. And the great thing about this is that 30% off is 30% off forever. So you're locked in at that price and you'll be able to renew at that price at $139.99. Now, the prices are in dollars. If you're thinking in terms of pounds sterling, then that's about £110. And it works out at 30 pence per day, or about 35 cents per day. And there's not a lot you can get for 30 pence a day. Definitely not. So the subscription is an ongoing subscription. When you sign up for it, it's a recurring subscription, so it would be taken out the next month or the next year and so on. But of course, you can cancel at any time. So if, for example, you wanted to sign up today and you didn't want it to recur automatically, then you can sign up today and cancel your subscription tomorrow, but you would continue to have access to the club for the remainder of the time that you have your subscription. So if that's 1 month, then you'll be able to access it for a month. If it's a year, you'll be able to access it for a year after that. Can I sign up using any currency? Well, the prices are in dollars. The platform that we use for the club is based in the US. That's why it's all in dollars. But you can obviously use any currency. You can sign up and it would convert that payment at the time of purchase. Okay, we're going to take another look at a different type of video now. And this is what we call our discovery videos. And we're going to join Pierre Benoit, who's going to be telling you an interesting fact about the world. The discovery idea is that we are learning something interesting about the world, but at the same time practicing our French vocabulary, practicing our grammar, and practicing our reading and listening skills. So the discovery videos are quite long. I actually just let the whole of the SIP video play previously because it was just about 8 minutes, but the discovery videos do tend to be a little longer. So we might stop this after the text and then I'll explain how Pierre Benoit would continue going through the video, or maybe I'll let the first part of that play. Anyway, I think it's time to move over to Pierre Benoit for this video. And the video is entitled Le travail de toute une vie. Le travail de toute une vie. So looking at that, it means the work of all a life. I'm sure we will find out more about this as we watch our discovery video with Pierre Benoit from the Coffee Break Club.
Bonjour and welcome to the club. Merci d'être avec nous pour une autre vidéo découverte à propos d'un jardin très intéressant. In our discovery videos, we read a text in French together. This allows us to practice our reading skills, review or discover new vocabulary and structures, as well as interesting facts about quelque chose, quelque part, dans notre joli monde. Bon, assez parlé, découvrons ensemble ce que le texte nous réserve aujourd'hui. Today's text is called Le travail de toute une vie and is about sculptures. So let's find out more about it and read the text together. À Neuvy-deux-Clochers, en France, il y a un jardin rempli d'énormes sculptures. Jean Linard a passé une grande partie de sa vie à créer des sculptures peintes en acier. Il a fabriqué bon nombre de ces sculptures de toutes formes, tailles et couleurs. Beaucoup d'entre elles sont conservées dans ce que Jean Linard a appelé sa cathédrale. Malheureusement, la cathédrale est tombée en ruine en 2019. Cependant, en 2022, le site a été acheté et restauré et est à nouveau ouvert au public. Well, this is very interesting. And there are a few facts that I didn't know anything about. So, let's go through the text one sentence at a time. À Neuvy-deux-Clochers, en France, il y a un jardin rempli d'énormes sculptures. Right, so Neuvy-deux-Clochers, it's a place and it's in France, en France. Il y a, there are, here we're talking about un jardin. So it's a garden, so it's il y a, there is. It's a singular thing. There is a garden rempli, filled. Now, in French, remplir quelque chose de. Donc c'est rempli de. We'll use the word de, de. Here is the apostrophe because énorme starts with a vowel. So rempli d'énormes, filled with. In English it's with, but in French it's de, which is like of. So that's interesting. Take a note of remplir de. Rempli d'énormes sculptures. Same word in English, sculptures. sculptures, but we say the P, whereas in French, we say une sculpture. D'accord? Or if you're the man who does the sculptures, you become un sculpteur. So we don't say the P in French. Un sculpteur qui fait des sculptures. Super. Our next sentence, Jean Linard a passé une grande partie de sa vie à créer des sculptures peintes en acier. Oh, oh. So Jean Linard, that's the name of the sculpture. And what has he done? Il a passé une grande partie de sa vie. So we've got lovely perfect here using the auxiliary avoir. So he has passed. When you pass time, you spend time. So he has spent. Passé, it's an ER verb, so it's an E acute ending. Remember when we use the avoir auxiliary or the auxiliary avoir, we don't have to agree with the subject. So we leave it as an E acute. Okay, if it was us, nous avons passé, passé would still remain E acute. So Jean Linard has spent une grande partie de sa vie, so a huge part of his life. So doing what? So passé une partie de sa vie, here it's une grande partie de sa vie, à faire quelque chose. That's a lovely expression, passer du temps à faire quelque chose. You spend an amount of time doing something. In French, passer du temps could be 1 heure, 2 heures, 1 jour, 2 jours, 1 mois, 1 année. So here it's une grande partie de sa vie. And then you've got that à with an accent plus an infinitive. So, he spent a big part of his life doing what? À créer, creating des sculptures, and what were they done? What were they like? Peintes en acier. So, peint from the infinitive peindre, to paint. Okay, so here they were painted en acier, right? Out of steel. Okay? So, très bien. So, that the sculptures are still sculptures, and they are painted. Wow.
Okay, merci Pierre Benoit. I'm going to stop Pierre Benoit in his tracks there because there is obviously quite a little more of this video and he goes on to explain more about all the language used. But you get the idea there that we've gone through a text, an interesting text about some aspect of the world, and then he goes through the vocabulary, the language used in that. So we can see passer du temps à faire quelque chose, a really good construction there that we use all the time in French. So that's another example of this different type of video, and we'll come back to more examples of different types of videos. But I wanted to make sure I've got time to answer your questions. I'm not going to be asking the questions, I'm going to be answering them. Before we get to that, here's another comment from one of our club members. I love the fact that I can go to the platform and easily find and pick content that's right for my level of energy and curiosity on a given day. There's no excuse not to practice consistently when the options are so flexible and the content is so engaging and the presenters are also delightful. Well, thank you very much. So let's come to some questions. We've actually got a question from Kathleen here in the comments. And Kathleen's asking, j'ai fini le Coffee Break Season 4. Qu'est-ce que je fais après ça? Would the club help with that level? So, if you've completed Season 4 and you're quite confident with the type of language used in Season 4, I would say probably the club would be more about consolidating earlier level content. So the club is really aimed around the Season 2 and into Season 3 level rather than the Season 4. If you are looking for something after Season 4, definitely check out La Vérité éclate toujours, which is our advanced French course, and you can find out all about that at coffeebreaklanguages.com. Just follow the links for French in there. Okay, so we've got some questions here that we had previously. And the first of these is, how do I use the club on the website or on the app? Well, we're going to do a little demonstration of this in just a moment, and I'll explain how the whole thing works and how you can access it both on our Coffee Break TV website and on the Coffee Break TV app. So I think if I go to full screen here, there we go. You can see this is the app. I'll go to the website first. So let's go to the website. This is the coffeebreaktv.com website, and it's different from our Coffee Break Academy website. I'll explain a little more about how that changes a bit later on. But within the Coffee Break Club app, you can see this is accessing the latest videos. There's a Start Here section, so if we go into the Start Here section, and go to our Getting Started in the Club French, then you can see we've put together a collection of French videos to give you a good feel for what is involved in the Coffee Break Club and the different types of videos that we have. If we come back to the higher level here, and then scroll down, you can see we've got the most popular videos. And again, these are the popular videos among French, German, Spanish and Italian, so it's not just the French videos. But coming down a little further, we see the Coffee Break Club French videos. So if we go into here, see all, then there we have the full collection of videos, and there are literally hundreds of them. Some last between 5 and 10 minutes, some are a little longer, and you can work your way through all of these videos. And as you can see, as I keep scrolling here, more videos pop up, and there is a massive selection of videos that you can work through. And as you complete them, you'll see that they grey out so that you know which ones you've done and which ones you've not done. So we can also search or filter by length or search for a particular topic. So let's say we wanted to see all the videos that last between 5 and 10 minutes. So all of these are filtered out, and immediately we can see these short videos. So I know that if I've just got 5 minutes, I can jump into this reading text with Max about Le Livre Mystérieux. And I know that I'm going to learn something. This is always the crucial thing about the club. I know that I'm going to learn something from this video, or I'm going to review something that I've previously worked on. We can also search. I'll just clear those filters, and we can search for a particular topic. So let's think if we were, I don't know, looking at indirect object pronouns. So if I start typing indirect and search for that, there we've got some videos which will have some element of indirect object pronouns in them. Sometimes also if we're looking for perhaps imperfect tense, I don't know, let's look for imperfect tense. There we've got specific videos about the imperfect tense. So you saw earlier we were doing a SIP video with Susie. Here's another SIP video on the imperfect tense, and then different translation challenges which involve the imperfect tense. So this is the Coffee Break it's the coffeebreaktv.com website, but we also have the Coffee Break TV app, which gives you the same experience but within an app form. So again, we can scroll down to our French videos, see all. We can look at a particular one of these videos. So let's go and find out about la bise, the French tradition of la bise. And we can scroll down here and see the comments there and add a comment, and Max will get back to us if we post a comment there. Now, on the Coffee Break TV app, there we can also download videos and add them to playlists so that we can, for example, if we're going on a flight or something like that, we're able to use the videos in that way and download a collection of videos to work through on a flight. Sorry, I'm a little bit distracted here. That's very possible on the app. For how long do I have access to the materials? Well, you have access to materials for the duration of your membership. So if you subscribe for a month, you'll have access to all the materials for that month. After that month, you'll no longer have access to the materials. Even if you've downloaded them, they will no longer be stored on your device. You have to have an active membership in order to be able to download and store the materials. But if you're subscribed for a year, then you've got access to all of those materials for a year. And you can, as I say, store them on your device. Can I download the videos? We've had a look at that. Okay, so if you've got any questions, and I see Melissa's got a question, then please do post them in the comments. Melissa's asking, do you have opportunities to text or speak in your target language with other members or staff? So that's not part of, certainly not speaking is not part of the Coffee Break Club experience. What we do have is our community, and in the community we regularly post challenges, we post questions to the community where you can interact there and post your comments in practicing the language. So in a text format you can definitely do that within the community. But the community is more for running challenges and running challenges around the videos, because this is all a video experience. That's why we've built this, to enable you to do something that you can't really do anywhere else. There's no other video library like this out there. There's Netflix, but that's different types of videos. This is very much Netflix for language learners, if you like, where you can really focus on the kind of learning videos that we've been putting together for you. Talking of which, I'd like to give you another little sample of some different videos that we have here. And this is a compilation of different types of videos. So we're going to take a look at this. And again, any questions, please do ask the questions in the chat, and I'll answer them after this little collection of further video lessons.
Let's get started with our study section. So we're looking at partitive articles in this lesson, and the partitive article is usually translated as some in English. And these words are du, de la, de L', and des. Let's take a look at the first partitive article.
Il y a des Starbucks partout dans le monde. La chaîne compte plus de 32 000 magasins au total. Le plus intéressant est situé au siège de la CIA, le George Bush Center for Intelligence, à Langley, en Virginie, a le seul Starbucks où les baristas ne sont pas autorisés à demander les noms des clients. De même, pour empêcher Starbucks de collecter leurs données, les clients ne peuvent pas utiliser de carte de fidélité.
Le train est mon moyen de transport préféré. C'est une aventure à chaque trajet. J'adore regarder par la fenêtre et voir tous les paysages. Et aussi observer les gens et imaginer où ils vont. Salut Pierre-Benoît! Je t'écris depuis l'Asie. Je suis dans un hôtel entièrement géré par des robots. C'est dingue. J'ai aperçu le mont Fuji aujourd'hui. C'est magnifique. J'ai mangé des sashimi hier. Quel délice! Il y a tellement de gens ici. C'est la ville la plus peuplée du monde. Alors, tu as deviné où je suis?
So it says, Menton vert, mer de glace. Bienvenue dans un train et un site mythique. So welcome aboard, and we've even got an English translation there, welcome aboard a mythical train to a mythical place. Now, in French, it says, welcome in a train and a site or a place mythical. So what we're seeing here is the adjective mythique, but it's being used to describe both un train and un site. Now, un train is masculine, un site is masculine. But did you notice that the mythique has an S in the end? That's because the adjective has to describe both the train and the site.
When I'm 18, I'd like to learn how to drive. 10 secondes. Eh oui, c'est terminé. Déjà, les 10 secondes sont passées. So when I'm 18, I'd like to learn how to drive. Regardons ensemble la réponse.
Et voilà, un texte très sympa avec plein de mots et de vocabulaire et de grammaire intéressant.
Oui, des expressions assez pointues, on va dire.
So let's go through the text together. Pierre-Benoit is going to read each sentence, and then we'll talk about the vocabulary and the grammar and so on in there. So
Okay.
over to you.
Cela faisait des mois qu'Annie n'était pas allée au cinéma, si bien que quand Bertrand lui a proposé d'y aller le week-end dernier, elle a dit oui sans hésiter.
Once again, a long sentence to begin with. So, cela faisait des mois.
Ouais, faisait.
Cela faisait des mois. It had been months since Annie n'était pas allée au cinéma, since Annie had been to the cinema.
Let's see the second set of vocabulary. Le pédiluve, footpath. Le pédiluve. Le bassin, pool. Le bassin. Le plongeoir, diving board. Le plongeoir. Le toboggan, water slide, or also it is the name of a slide that you can see at a play park, for example. Le toboggan. La brasse, breaststroke, la brasse.
So this is using être, a very well-known verb. Être sur le point de faire quelque chose means to be about to do something. So the idea is that by looking at this and learning more examples of this être sur le point de faire quelque chose, you'll be able to extend your vocabulary and become more confident in using your French. So let's look at some examples of être sur le point de faire quelque chose now. In our first example, l'équipe de Belgique est sur le point de gagner la compétition. Je répète, l'équipe de Belgique est sur le point de gagner la compétition. Okay, so l'équipe de Belgique, that's the Belgium team. It could be a football team, a rugby team, a gymnastic team, who knows. But the team of Belgium, l'équipe de Belgique, est sur le point, is on the point, is about to gagner la compétition, to win the competition. So the Belgium team are about to win the competition. L'équipe de Belgique est sur le point de gagner la compétition. Okay, so there you have it, an example of some of the different types of videos that you can access on the Coffee Break Club. Now, what I would like to do now is answer. I keep saying I'm going to ask questions. I'm not asking questions. I'm answering your questions today. And John is asking, we've been using another program for a couple of years. How do we know where to start? So for this, John, what I would like to do is just jump back, if possible, to, if I press this, and then we should be back here on the app, or same goes for the website. But we've got a pathway for getting started with the Coffee Break French Club. So getting started in French, you can see this here, and this is where you'll see the selection of videos that we have in the club. And at this stage, they're all at that sort of A to B1 level, and it'll give you a feel for the kind of videos that we have there. We are also working on putting together pathways for different areas of the language, and these are going to be added to the Coffee Break Club in the coming weeks and months. And it means that you will be able to follow these and build your skills in different areas of the language. But again, you can search for any video that you're currently, or any topic that you're currently working on, whether it's with another course or indeed in our other Coffee Break French materials, and there will be something in the club to help you build your language skills, build your understanding of that particular topic. So hopefully that answers your question, John. Again, if you get any further questions, please don't hesitate to put them in the comments. But there is one kind of obvious question, and that is, how do you access this fantastic 30% off at the moment? Well, you do so by heading to coffeebreaklanguages.com/summer2024. Or you can scan that QR code on the screen, and that will take you to our website. It is there's a page specifically for this. Again, can we just come back to the iPad here? There we go. And on this page, all the information is provided about the club. There's further examples. There's links for these taster sessions, and you can see that we're just about after this to go into the Spanish taster session and the Italian taster session. And we've got some questions and answers and so on, and of course the crucial links for accessing the Coffee Break Club. So you choose your path to fluency, whether it's through our monthly membership or our annual membership. $13.99 for this month, and then $19.99 following that. Or if you want to take 30% off every future payment, you can use the annual club membership, and you can use that button, and you will be able to sign up for it there. And that is how you get access to the special offers, because if you just go to our normal coffeebreaktv.com website, you will not see these special offers with the correct code and everything. So make sure you head to this coffeebreaklanguages.com/summer2024 or scan that code. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope that you've enjoyed this. I hope you found it useful. And most importantly, I hope you've learned something, because that's what it's all about, moving tiny steps forward, and you can do so in 5 or 10 minutes a day. And the perfect way to do that is, of course, with the Coffee Break Club. I will be back soon with more content. Of course, we'll be adding new materials to the Coffee Break Club this week, and of course, we will also be doing our new episodes of the Coffee Break French show. We will be bringing all of that to you in the coming days and weeks. But for now, I'm going to say merci beaucoup. We will finish off there. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've learned something. And of course, as ever, happy coffee breaking.